Wolfman. Another horror movie remake about an iconic one from the, back in the heyday, from back in, the 20s, the 30s. Leigh Whannell is directing this one. This is the guy who brought you a movie called Upgrade, which I think is super underrated, as well as The Invisible Man, another remake that, oddly enough, is the best movie of 2020 for a lot of people. I know that has a huge asterisk next to it for obvious reasons. But Leigh Whannell is a very, very talented director. We don't have a lot of really good werewolf movies out there either, so I was curious to see what Leigh Whannell could do with this material. We follow a man named Blake, and he and his family are attacked by an unseen animal, and in a desperate escape, they barricade themselves inside a farmhouse as the creature prowls the perimeter. But as the night stretches on, Blake begins to behave strangely, transforming into something unrecognizable that soon jeopardizes his wife and his daughter. Now, one thing that I'll praise this movie right off the bat for is that it takes a lot of risks. We are used to werewolf movies where the creature turns into this otherworldly being because of a full moon, whatever the case may be. Being turned into a werewolf is almost treated like it's a disease in this one, and that's a really interesting idea. But the whole presentation of werewolves in this universe, so to speak, they're almost more like zombies rather than werewolves. That's what it felt like to me. Like, you get scratched by one of these things and poof, you turn into a werewolf and you start getting the sickness. I don't know, do you guys feel like you've seen that before with shows like The Walking Dead? It seems like you kind of have the same rules here. And I think taking risks is more than okay, especially when it comes to a scary movie like this, and especially when it comes to a well-known property like The Wolfman was. Might I also add, Leigh Whannell's direction is phenomenal. He also has the same DP that he had for both Upgrade and The Invisible Man, and the movie absolutely looks stunning. I think the absolute biggest praise that I can give this iteration of Wolfman is the atmosphere that it creates. This is a super creepy, remote, claustrophobic atmosphere. You are stuck in nature. You are stuck at this farmhouse. And there is a very legitimate reason for this family going to the farmhouse. And I dare not get into spoilers as to what that actually is. But I think just the overall sound mixing, what they do with the sound editing as well, once the guy starts transforming into a werewolf, I think they're doing some really neat things here, guys. While I'm on that topic, Christopher Abbott is asked to do so much in this thing, and he absolutely pulls it off, I think. He also shares such a sweet and endearing relationship with his little daughter. It's so wholesome, man. It is so cute how this little girl's job, so to speak, per her father, is for her to read his mind. And every single time she says, "I love my little girl." And he's like, "How did you know that? You're so amazing." Like, that is so cute, man. I also have to add, Julia Garner is in this movie. She is a phenomenal actress. She's known for her work on a show called Ozark, if you're familiar with that. And I have a feeling that with this performance and with Fantastic Four First Steps coming out, where she's going to be playing the Silver Surfer, she is going to have herself a banner year. I'm going to make a bold prediction, but Julia Garner is an actress and a name to watch out for, especially after First Steps comes out. Now, even though there is a good amount of praise about this version of Wolfman, it's not without its issues. I don't want to say this movie's disappointing, or dare I say bad. I certainly didn't dislike this. It's a very easy watch, hovering at around an hour and 40 minutes, and the plot line absolutely feels like it's cohesive, and it feels like it has a solid beginning, middle, and end. But I don't know, it just feels like the overall setup of this movie was way better than what the execution of this setup actually was. It establishes a storyline where this mom is basically like, "Oh, I'm just a horrible mother and I cannot be here for this daughter. And I'm sorry, honey, but yeah, you are so much more well connected to our daughter than I am." And it almost feels like the movie forgets about that once the third act comes along, and it's not really addressed. I do appreciate that the script is as ambiguous as it is. Like, there's no real huge exposition dump that's basically telling you all the information that you've just learned. It's all done with visual storytelling. And even though you do have a lot of great moments of visual storytelling, and I absolutely do appreciate it, that storyline between the mom and the daughter was pretty heinously dropped for no reason whatsoever. And I will admit, the overarching story of how this man turns into a wolf is supremely predictable. The creature that's prowling around the house, you're able to basically guess its background almost instantly. And it's not to say that predictable is a bad thing, but I feel like the fact that this story was so predictable kind of hindered Wolfman from being so much better than it actually could have been. And I'll be honest, I feel like the Wolfman actual design and the prosthetics and everything, it's not bad prosthetics, but I feel like the final form of the Wolfman and what he evolves into, it doesn't feel finished to me. And I was thinking more and more about it, and I'm like, yeah, this is a cool design. They're thinking really outside the box. They're trying to ground this Wolfman in a bit more reality. I think for this story, though, like, why not go all out with the design? Why not just have fun with it? I don't know, just some glaring issues that unfortunately keep Wolfman from being an absolute treasure of a werewolf movie. I still had some fun with it. I think it's a pretty simple movie to get through when you really think about it, albeit as predictable as it is. The direction, the cinematography, and the performances alone, I think are worth the price of admission. Just be wary that you're going to be bound to a story that you probably could guess walking in. I'm going to give Wolfman a C+. Not the greatest horror remake of all time. Definitely doesn't hold a candle to something like Nosferatu, which I watched a couple weeks ago. But certainly not lower tier. Let me know what you thought of this remake down in the comments section below. Hit that subscribe button if you're new and tap on that thumbs up as well. Movies are off to a great start in 2025. I can't wait to have you guys along for the ride. I can't wait to keep talking all great things in the cinematic world. With all that being said, Back Talk, commence.